convention we're having here in Denver.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It is so exciting. I love this stuff. You see old friends, new friends, you make new friends, you make a few enemies. It's fun. Steal a few boyfriends.
And there's plenty of that going on. We actually talked to your sister, Congresswoman Linda Sanchez, just a little while ago.
Oh my gosh, I haven't even seen her.
Oh yeah,
is she looking good?
As always, you both always look great. You both always look great. And I asked her about your new book. And I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to read. We didn't get our preview copy yet. That's the only thing I'll say.
Out to people.
All right, so I hope I get it soon.
The best parts in there are the ones I wrote, of course.
I'm sure of it. There's an issue there that's been getting all the press, and I know it's only a small part of the entire book, but I want to ask you about, because I know it's something that you've actually talked to me about in the past, as Congresswoman, the other Congresswoman Sanchez has, and that's the issue of sexism amongst your male colleagues in the House of Representatives. Is this has it gotten any better over the years? I think it's been a few years since you and I talked about it. I know what you went through when you were running.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course it's still there. I think that as the Congress changes, you see it not as blatant as you get newer members in. But I think there is some of that going on. It tends to be. My sister thinks it tends to be with some of the older guys in the Congress. I see it even some of the younger ones, sort of a discounting of women, if you will. And so, you sort of have to figure out the individual and treat them accordingly. You dance around it, you just laugh it off, you push back, you bat your eyes at them sometimes. Whatever it takes to just get them off of that subject and get them moved on to where you need to be, which is, hey, I've got this deal I'm trying to get through, and I need your vote, or hey, I need your help on this, or how would you approach this? And you just have to, I think, act confident, be confident, and not fall into the trap of, oh, this guy's just disrespecting me all the time. Because quite frankly, if I didn't work with, if I refused to work with people who disrespect me,
right.
Be very few people I could work with, because
that's a rough, and D.C. is a rough environment, right?
It's a tough place,
right.
And you got to have a thick skin, and you got to be ready to go in there and, fight every day, especially in the House of Representatives. We always say the Senate is like a country club, and the House of Representatives is like a truck stop. You get in there, you're at the counter, you're trying to get your meal done, you're squeezing in between people, there's a lot of chatter and, things going on, and you got to get in and out.
And you've done a great job of it over the years.
Thank you.
You've done an incredible job for your constituents and for the country, quite frankly.
Well, thank you. I always want to thank you because you were one of the few who believed in me from the very beginning. You came over on my team, on my campaign team, and you helped me get through it, and I just am really grateful that you were there, and so many others who, as you know, have become close friends over the years.
Yeah, and I obviously was right because you brought a certain level of quality to the Congress, especially for that seat, but overall, the standards for that seat were low as far as participation, but overall you certainly have added to Congress. Let me ask you a question. Here we are in Denver. At the opening gavel will strike in just about a half hour or so. You were a Senator Clinton supporter.
That's correct.
And there's been a lot of talk about the fact that many of Senator Clinton supporters aren't very happy about the outcome of this race. We're seeing it show up in different polls in different states. How do you feel about the way this has gone, and where do we go from here?
Well, this is really the job of Barack Obama, and I hope he understands how important this convention is to him. We have to come out of here Thursday very united. Now, what you have in Denver, of course, are the activists, you have the elected officials, you have the leadership of the party. So you have those people who most understand that we need to be united, and we need to have a Democrat in the White House. We understand that. We will do that. By Thursday, we will get out of here, and we will do that. But you have a second group you're appealing to through this convention, and actually sets the tone for the next 2 months to win in November. And that is the actual voters out there. And you can say that there are some delegates or some people here at the convention who feel disaffected because Hillary didn't get it and maybe they're not over it yet or they wanted to see her as a VP or whatever you want. I mean, I'm actually don't count myself in that category.
Okay.
But they will be on board. But the people out there, the Hillary supporters out there in the real world, they need to wait. They need to be reeled back in. And so putting her name up for nomination, stopping the side games that some of the Obama people have been playing with respect to trying to get no votes for Hillary on that roll call. You know, a tone set by the Obama campaign of not helping her pay back her debt, really saying they would, but of course not really helping when she actually got her donors to open up and send money to him. Because and people say, well, why should they pay her debt or whatever? You know, these are things that are done in campaigns.
Right.
You know,
right.
You solidify behind somebody and you help each other, because if you are united, you let bygones be bygones, and you get going. And both need to get going. You know, we need to pay some of her debt off, and we need to put him in the White House. That can be done. That's not exclusive. That can be done at the same time. You know, it doesn't take away from each other. So that needs to happen, and Obama needs to send a clear message to his donors that that's what needs to happen. And, you know, he needs to talk better and not communicate with 80,000 people in the stadium, communicate on a one-to-one,
right.
on a group-to-group, especially within the Latino community. We need to have you come out and reach out and tap us and give us an abrazo and
right.
love us, and you know, and they haven't seen that from him yet.
And hopefully we will be seeing that, you know, and I agree with you. This here is for us to solidify, but there is a larger audience out there. And once again, very great statements. Always good to be with you, Congresswoman Sanchez.
Great.
And
well, hopefully we'll see a Democrat in the White House.
And that you are always, let me put it this way, you're never shy to say what's on your mind. That's why it's so refreshing to be with you.
Thank you, Maria. Thanks a lot.
We'll talk to you soon. Once again, that's Congresswoman Loretta Sanchez right here live from the Pepsi Center on the one and only Mario Solis Marich Show.